Hello, everyone. I'm so happy today to present to you. I don't think I would have to tell you who the person that you see on the screen is. That's Mr. Tinu Yohannan, former cricket player, medium fast bowler. He comes from a very illustrious sporting family, and we are going to talk about a lot of things related to fitness, injury prevention, nutrition, mindset towards sports, a lot of things in today's interview series. You might be knowing that he is the son of Mr. T.C. Yohannan, the well-known long jumper who represented India in the Olympics, 1976 Summer Olympics, I guess. And and he's also the recently appointed as the Ranji coach for the for the Kerala state team. And congratulations, Tinu. And my first question is straight away getting into the mindset towards sports and how, especially people, how parents look at sports. How can we get children and young adults more invested in health and physical activities? Especially, parents and teachers used to emphasize more on studies and less on sports. Do you think it has changed? Was it really a problem? I'm sure it wasn't much of an issue for you coming from a sports family, but how do you think the mindset has changed?
Hi everybody. It's great to interact with you. Uh, with my experience, I just like to share with my experience. I'm not expert in any of these topics, but with my experience, I can share with you. Sports. It's a lifestyle.
Hmm.
It's not something that you can force on anyone. But with my experience, I can say that it has something in it. Sports has something in it that can change an individual. Okay, it transforms. It has this transformation potential that can change someone from the inside. Okay, it's just not the physical activity or the physical abilities that we have matters, but it's a lot of mental and also a lot of character is needed to play sport. So that way, that's where sports come into picture in a transformation or development of a child. So that's why it has to be given so much priority and importance. So today I read in the papers that our sports minister says that sports is not going to be option anymore. It's going to be a compulsory subject. That's really good to hear. That's because people are understanding the importance of sport. Sport is just not played just to go into a professional level of sport or take it as a profession. It has a place in everyone's life, to build health, first to build health, to respect our bodies, and to understand, the values through sport, values that needed in life through sport. To quote a few examples, I will say that to understand the difference, between winning and losing, to accept how to lose, and secondly, to love your opponents. You to
Very
respect
important.
your opponents. It's very important.
Right.
And also, to love our teammates. Unless you forgive your teammates, you can't play sport. So all these things, small things that we learn through sport, it's so important in our everyday life. So it's a teacher for me. That's why we have to take up sport. So parents also have to understand this. Education is the key, definitely, but sports is a great educator. That's
Right.
right.
I think sports is a lot about emotional intelligence and emotional quotient, right? That's what you are coming to.
Without doubt.
Yeah. So, see, one of the challenges that people have when they enroll for our programs is to sustaining this healthy eating exercises in their busy schedule, and it's very easy for them to do something for 2 months and then slip back to Shankaran eppalum tengitana, back to the back to square one. So, what as a do sportsmen, sports professionals face such challenge, and when they do that, what do they do to get back into the game? And is there some trick or something that they do to be on the game all the time?
For me, it is, what is your target? It matters so much. An athlete, the target motivates you every day. So you get up off the bed every day. What you really see is that target or that lakshyam that's in your mind. That's what
Right.
going. A sportsman, that's what motivates him. Let it be as small as getting into the school team, or as big as getting into the Indian side. Whatever it is, that target is very important for a human being or any person when he perseveres something. Okay, so same in the fitness field also. It depends what you want to really achieve.
Achieve.
Is it motivating you every day to do that? That question is very important when you take up a diet program, or you take up a workout routine. So why you are doing it? For what reason? If the reason is just to maybe look better, or something that is not that motivation, you may lose it in between.
Absolutely.
Maybe 2 days or 3 days, 1 week, sometime 1 month you may push, but then the question will arise of why I'm doing this.
Doing this.
What reason I'm doing this? Is it going to help me any bit? I can't see anything. So that that inside that calling or that motivation is so important when you take up, especially something that related to your physical, you physically, because it is you put your body into punishment, and you take it, you always take it a deviation from your normal lifestyle. It's always a change is never easy. So if you want to survive that change, you have to be motivated. You
Right.
need to live with it every day. And I think that's the
Key to
key
that.
factor when we take up anything related to a body.
Absolutely. So wonderfully put. So you're saying that understanding why are you doing it and finding a lakshyam is very
Yes,
important. And once you have that very clear in your head, then everything else will fall in place. Yeah.
absolutely.
Brilliant. Come on the exercise part. So when we explain exercise to our clients, we basically divide exercise into three categories. We say there is something called cardiovascular exercises, such as running, swimming, jumping, and all that. And then there is resistance training or weight training. And then there is also the yoga, stretches, and all that. So we basically divide exercise into these three basic categories to explain it to our clients. Now, what is the importance of doing all these three types of exercises for a sports professional, especially for a cricketer? Would you say one is better than other, or one is more important for one particular kind of sport? What is your advice or opinion about it?
See, when it comes to sport, uh, as a foundation, in the foundational level, it's important to be a complete athlete. Okay, and at the foundational level, so you need all aspects that you mentioned. Now you need the cardio, you need the strength, you need the speed is vital in any sport. Okay, you need your flexibility, your mobility that comes into it, stability, balance, all those components come as your foundational. You need the base of it. Okay,
Right.
but then when you choose a particular a parameter in the sport, or not a particular aspect like batting or bowling, where you specialize in it. Okay, or even in football, what you specialize in it, basketball, any sport, what you specialize, then it comes to your needs in the game. Okay, what your needs are, you need to be specific in it. As a fast bowler, you need to survive the whole day bowling, running in for almost 20 overs a day if you're bowling a multi-day match, you're playing a multi-day match. But if you're a batsman, your need is different. Okay, what you need is to score 100, you may need to do different sprints, more sprints, but the duration of recovery you get is more. Okay, the recovery inside is more.
Right.
So that way everyone's needs are different. So you need to train according to your needs, what you need.
Brilliant.
But you need the base of everything.
Got it.
So everyone needs speed, Okay, as a batsman, you need speed. As a fast bowler, you need speed. You need your strength. As a wicket keeper, also you need your strength. As a fielder, also you need your strength. Okay, but certain elements you may need more. Your endurance as a fast bowler, your endurance level should be more than that of a batsman.
Got it.
Your strength in your lower, your core or your lower limb should be more. The demand is more than a batsman needs. So that will vary. So you need to train specifically.
Got
and
it. To the role that you want to play.
Yeah, that's
Right.
very
So,
important.
right. So you're saying that fitness, fundamentally, all these three things are required, but depending upon the role and the kind of the game that you are in, you might have to kind of play between these to suit your requirement.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to exercise again, should a cricketer also do gym exercise? And would you how do you differentiate, a match fitness versus a gym fitness? Is that important? We have seen Virat Kohli working out and all that. So is gym a fundamental part, or resistance training, building muscles, very important for not just cricket or any sport?
See, it's again more functional. If I can use the term functional, how much important is that strength for your game? That will improve your game. Okay, but it's also very individualistic. I have seen strength training become very individualistic, because what Virat Kohli does with his power lifts, it may not suit Rohit Sharma. Okay, so Virat Kohli, he is seen his improvement in his game doing his power lifts, but seeing that if someone else go and do the same thing, they may get injured. Okay, so that's a very key point. The individualistic has to be very important, but strength is a key. Strength is key when it comes to any sport. You need the base strength, and then build up on it according to your needs and what's your preferences. Few I've seen players who can't lift weights, but they are comfortable doing their body weights, and still they have their levels decently. Okay, they're not very good in lifting. So slowly you have to get them into the system, and make them comfortable with it, allow them to get used to the technique and all those, and slowly get used to it, then they're okay with doing anything. But you can't force anyone with something. But then to answering your question about gym fitness and match fitness, it is completely it has nothing to do with the game. I would say how much ever you can lift, how much ever exercises you can do correctly, it has nothing to do with the game. Okay. Why you do fitness is to improve your performance, improve your skill levels. Okay, it's not the other way around.
Right.
To improve your fitness, you do fitness to play well. Okay. So you can't improve your game spending time on the gym or doing your cardio workout. You can't improve your game there. Game has to be improved. Match fitness has to be brought in the nets during your practice sessions, playing enough matches, having enough, the miles on your legs, that you have bowled for enough, time, enough duration in the nets. That's what gets you to match fitness, and also the match preparation, like playing practice matches and all those. Okay, but it has, doing gym won't get get
absolutely.
ready. You have to be prepared, practicing the game to be matched.
Right. When we were talking about the match fitness, I was also reminded about injury and injury management. So how can a sports person, professional, reduce the possibility of injury? Will warm up and stretches, I'm sure it would help, but to what extent? What are the general tips that you will give when you coach people how to reduce injury?
See, injury is a part and parcel of the game. Any professional sport you play, or even the amateur level, injury is going to happen. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, you should be protected. supernaturally to avoid injury. Otherwise injury is a part and parcel of the game. What best part to avoid injury is prevention. You have to see the forthcoming injuries earlier. Okay, and then you can avoid it. You can't completely eradicate it, but you can avoid
to a reasonable extent.
Yeah. So what we do is we first analyze where are the chances that this player can get injured. Where are the chances? So first we study their whole musculoskeletal system. Okay. So what are the weaknesses in his bodies? Okay. Where are the tight parts in his bodies? Okay. Where and any postural problem that these guys have. Okay. Where his movements are restricted. Okay. Those kinds of things which a physio or a sports medicine doctor can do it. That is the base. Okay, we get that record, and then what we analyze is his movements, movement patterns, just his basic movement patterns while he walk, while he jump, all those things, and also in his game. If he's a bowler, if he's a batsman, we analyze his technique properly and see the areas where he can. There are chances or possibilities that he get injured. So maybe one muscle group is taking too much load in his bowling. Okay, not every batsman or every bowler is the same. They may be doing the same skill, but they will be doing it differently. Okay, so maybe the load in certain muscle for them is more than the other player. So that we have to analyze, analyzing the action. Okay, and if they need any correction in their action, okay, we have to do that without affecting their game. That's very important. Okay, without affecting their game, we have to do the correction slowly and patiently, so that they can be injury free, and that has to be done in an early age as much as possible, because after certain age injury, the action correction is difficult.
True. Got it.
So once we have these things in our hand, these data in our hand, we know that to a certain extent where can these injuries come from. Okay, then we can strengthen that areas. We can do his mobility and all those works, rehab work for the area, and we can get the preparation will be ready for a player. Okay, otherwise other injuries that happens during the game, or due to lack of safety or precautionary measures, that we should avoid taking precautions during the game, that the environment is safe, he has equipments, all those has to be taken care of the coach and the staff, and also responsibility of the player also. That we can avoid that way, but the assessment helps a lot to avoid injuries.
Right. Got that. On the nutritional parts, what is the general nutritional trip for a cricketer, and would the nutrition plan or a diet plan, would it be different on a general day vis-a-vis a day before the cricket, or on the day of the cricket? What is your take?
See, for a cricket is more of a skill-based game. Okay, so you can even cheat with your diet. That's okay, but you can still perform in the field. Because not for long, but in and out you can do that, and still you can perform. Okay, because it's not a game that needs that you need to be in your top level of fitness all the time, because it's more of skill and mind. So what you eat is very important. Very important as a cricketer, what you eat, because recovery is so important in the game, today's game. Okay, recovery, it depends. I feel it depends on what you take inside also. You can take a proper healthy diet. I won't say a very uh, what costly diet I won't say, but a healthy diet that we can get within our reach. It's very important that include all the nutrients. Okay, if we can maintain that and train well according to needs, I think that's good enough for a cricketer. Okay, but before a game, as you asked, before a game, it's important that we load carbs. We load carbs more because it's a longer duration game. If it's a T20, you spend a lot of energy. Even if for 3 hours, the energy that you spend during the 3 hours is now amazing. You get drained more than a test match, playing a test match when you play a T20. Okay, so your energy level should be really high. So those carb loading is very important before a game. Okay, every day and after the game also. I've seen that after you have finished the game, it's important when you're going to have your meal after that. So it's important to have it between that half an hour to 45 minutes after the game immediately, so you replenish that fuel again. Okay, these small things, if we can concentrate, I think it will do the job for you. Yeah, the discipline is very important again. Discipline, eating discipline is very important, that you eat in time.
Right.
Just as you sleep is very important. The time that you eat is very important as a cricketer, so that your body get used to that metabolism. Starving for long duration is not good. Starving, I've seen, kills your muscles, and depriving your sleep and having late nights is also not good as a cricketer. Once in a while is okay, but the time that you have your meal is so important when it comes to any sport.
Right. Not just cricket. Yeah. So you're basically saying that sleep is important, training for your sport and keeping yourself fit and exercise is important. And equally important is the nutritional aspect. So these three things have to come together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question. What is the deal with sportsman and banana? We hear that's like the favorite thing of every sportsman. What is the deal with that?
See, I think it is the most readily available, quick, that source of energy that we can get. We normally avoid chocolate and things, but now chocolates are also being suggested for that quick energy burst. Bananas is the most readily available thing, and I think it gives you that sudden, energy burst. Now, for not that sudden energy burst, but it's easy to digest. I would say that the banana, you don't feel heavy eating a banana, and also good that taste. Also, it's not bad or something. Not bad, but it's something that
everybody likes
right in your mouth when you play. It's like you are sweating and you don't feel hungry. You don't feel like eating much during a game, or so banana is easier thing that your I think system accepts. It was like for me it was like that banana. Yeah, banana you give me, I'll eat it anytime. Because
and I think it's also easy to carry it, and it's rich in electrolytes also. So
and also the nutrients that it carries with it. That is a big factor with all the potassium and all those things. I think it helps replenish your that you sweat out and lose those minerals. I think that also get replenished. The nutrition side of it, I don't know much about it, but bananas do help
on that part. Yeah. So you earlier mentioned, in fact you mentioned it a couple of times, that sports is not just about physical fitness. It's a lot about discipline. It's all about your mental stress. How do you manage situations and solutions? So I can think of India playing a Pakistan match, and then the amount of the stress on the people would be so huge. How can one remain calm and composed and concentrate on the match? And what are the other aspects of the training which facilitates or helps a person to remain calm, composed, and still be doing what a person should be doing instead of succumbing to the huge pressure?
So see, that's when we say that sports is more in the mind,
Mm.
than the body. As hard it is in the body, it's harder for the mind to play sport. Unless you have a strong mind, you can win sports. Okay,
Mm.
with that mind, it's what combines with your mind is your character.
Mm.
Character at those tough situations. That's very important to take right decisions.
Mm.
Decision making is the most crucial thing at the tough situation. Even in our life, also when we face tough situation, it's the decisions that change.
Mm.
The scenario. So decision making is so we need a sound mind. Okay,
Mm.
that's so important. That word, that sound mind to think correctly in tough situations.
Mm.
Okay, that's what we need to train for in sport. Okay,
Mm.
in professional sport. Okay, that training is a very important keyword that will help you to take that right decisions. Okay,
Mm.
so are you put into the similar situations during practice? That's an important question to ask
Mm.
yourself. Okay,
Okay.
you train for the similar situations during practice. Okay, are you putting you under enough pressure during
Mm.
practice? Okay,
Mm.
that's so important. That's where you get accustomed to these situations. Okay, it's you should not feel new when you go and face these situations like this in a game. Okay, yeah, you should have that mm, feeling that, yeah, I have faced this situation in the nets. Yeah, I have practiced for this, so I am ready for this.
Finish.
Okay, so uh, nets, you can do it technically and tactically. You can prepare for that situation, but the mental aspect come from your visualization part. Okay,
Mm.
you can go through these situations n number of times, how much ever you want to, when you're free. Okay,
Mm.
and you can prepare in your mind. Okay, that's where visualization come into. Okay,
Mm.
it's so important to visualize where you're going to be, who is your opponent, and thinking uh, that situation in your mind time and time again before a game. Okay, whatever situations that can come in a game, if you are ready for that, if you are done that, it becomes easier.
Easier.
Okay, and you exactly know what to do when, and you're ready for that. So for example, um, if you need to bowl a yorker at the last ball of the over,
Mm.
okay, where the batsman wants a boundary and the yorker is the only option that you want to bowl, uh, you have to be ready for that. You need to practice that yorker, 10,000 times in the nets. Okay, then only you can implement that in the game.
Right time. Mm.
So that practice is so important. But it's just not that practice that will get you do that. It's also your thinking.
Mm.
Okay, that positive thinking, that confidence that you need, to implement that. Okay, so you should have that history of doing that thing previously.
Mm.
So even in the nets, you have to practice like that. Maybe you can go to center wicket and practice like that. So practicing and preparation for that situation is very
Very
important.
important.
You take a pressure in a game. Yeah.
Right. So, concluding this interview discussion, I just have one last question. What would be your tip or advice to the aspiring sports professionals?
I think first of all, to understand your calling towards the game.
Mm.
Okay. Do you have it in you to reach your target, whatever target it is? You have it in you, that passion, that motivation to take you there. Okay, if you get that right nod from your heart that yes, I'm going for it, then draw that path that you have to travel. Okay, draw that path for yourself that you have to travel every day to achieve that, that goal.
Right.
That's very important, to see that path that will take you there. Unless you have that path, you will be stranded somewhere, or you may even taking the wrong path.
Mm.
Okay, for reaching there. So it's very important to draw that right path, right, meet the right people in that path. Okay, that will help you to reach there. You can never reach the target alone. Okay,
Right.
it is tough to reach the target alone.
Mm.
You need support all through the way to guide you, instruct you, teach you. Okay, so it's very important to speak